What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jeremiah. I am here because I wanted to introduce this video. This is the Call Podcast. This is episode 11. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the best of quality on this video for some reason. It didn't translate over, but I just wanted to give you guys an introduction and just say thank you guys for supporting. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, the Z Experience at YouTube, and also make sure you guys are checking out the Call Podcast and any other podcasts we have going on here at Zion Christian Ministries. But once again, I do apologize on behalf of the Cultured Media team for the quality of this video, but it was too good not to put out. So we just want to give you guys a quick introduction and let you see it. Let's go.
Yeah.
You are listening to the Call Podcast.
Whatever gone through in life, but just know that you are still called.
And not alone, expanding the gospel reach, exposing the future generation of believers through creative ministry mindset.
Sonny, that ain't Jesus calling.
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. What's up, y'all? Hey. Yeah. And we back. Yeah.
Like four flats.
Oh.
A Cadillac.
Oh. Yeah. What's up, everybody? It has been a minute since I have sat here at this table with y'all. But y'all already know who I am. I am your girl, Kelsee, the young adult leader of the Call.
Yes.
And I got with me.
It's your bestie, Lisa. I am the graphic designer of the Call.
And it's your girl, Samaya, and I'm just a part of the ministry.
A devoted member.
A very involved member. Very involved.
We love a devoted member, y'all. What's up? I feel like I ain't sat here with y'all in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it has.
It feels good, though. I ain't know it was going to feel like this. Yeah.
Get into it.
I was ready. We just going to jump right into it, y'all. I have a couple questions for y'all. We just going to talk. My first one is, like, how did your upbringing shape who you are today?
Well, for me, I've mentioned it before on a couple other podcasts, but my upbringing, I really didn't grow up in, like, church. I was in it was like a tumultuous kind of, like, just topsy-turvy upbringing. It was a mixture of the hood versus the suburbs, and then when you move up here, you too hood to hang out with the suburbians, and then when I go to Nashville, I'm too suburban to hang out with the hood people. So, but how it shaped me as I am today, I am a chameleon. I can fit in with pretty much any crowd. I can get down with pretty much anybody. But, also it shaped my mindset as to be able to understand people from all walks of life. So that's just a synopsis.
I'd say my upbringing, I was raised by my grandparents. Like, my mom had me young, but, she's still in my life. But, like, my biological dad, he wasn't there, but, I've seen a healthy relationship. But, like, I also, experience, the single-parent household. But, I'd say I'm able to, relate to both. Like, I guess, be a chameleon and, understand both sides of the situation. So.
All my life I had to fight. No. Let me stop. But no, I'm pretty much like you, Lisa. I've been in a bunch of different places. I get that a lot, that I'm very suburban to be anywhere that's even remotely even a little bit of hood. So everywhere I go is, oh, you talk so proper. Oh, you talk like this, you talk like that. I talk like me.
Hello.
I cannot help who raised me, who taught me how to talk, and I've been raised by black people. Truth be told, at a period of my life, I didn't really know the race thing. There was a period where I went to an all black school. There's a period I went to an all white school. So I've had the pleasure of being everywhere and being able to see how everybody does different things. I've had the pleasure of seeing different families. I grew up in a household where my parents weren't together, my biological parents, but my mom was with my stepdad, and, my stepdad is my dad, and, I have my dad, and then my stepmom, and then my dad, so it's just like, I grew up in so many different places and being able to see so many different things that it definitely showed me who I was as a person, and, coming from that, a lot of people get confused, like growing up different places and growing up with different things, and they feel like they have to choose. Oh, I got to be suburban, or I got to be hood, or I got to be this, and I got to be that. And I don't feel like you have to choose. Like, it's all a part of you. You'll never lose that part unless you choose to not have it as a part of your life. So I feel like it's important, really.
Yeah, very important.
I would say, like, because I've been raised, like, I'm from New Jersey, but I was raised down here.
Oh, for real?
And it's just like, here it was diverse, but it was predominantly white. So it's like, okay, like, majority of my friend groups, like, I did have, like, with dance, like, I had my, black friend group. And I did have black friend groups at school, but, like, majority of them, I was the only black person. And so, I would always, you're the black girl trapped in a white, you're the white girl trapped in a white. And like, that's not that sweet. That's not what that is. I know how to adapt.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I know how to have fun. I'm not going to sit here. Like, I'm just me. Like, I'm literally just myself. Everybody appreciates that. So, I appreciate that. It's helped me.
Sure.
So, but yeah, it is like, that's not what that is.
It's not. I'm being myself.
I'm literally being myself. I just know how to adapt.
Yeah.
And heavy on the adapting. Like, that's a real word that I don't think many of us, our generation, use that word a lot to describe how we are in social situations. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize, like, just because we grew up in so many different places doesn't mean that we don't know how to adapt. Like, I know when I go to the Black Cookout, I just know that there are certain things that I know I'm not going to be singing on Hannah Montana. I'm just not. No, I probably would just a little bit, but you just know what to do, where to do it. You just learn.
But then again, black people, we surprise each other every day though.
That is true.
People be like, and then they listening to like Paramore, and it's like, you listen to that?
Who is that? Right.
And you listen to YB all the time, so it's
right. And people, I surprise people all the time. Like, they don't think I listen to like rap music, in which I don't. But I think that to keep up with the generation and just to understand what everybody else is getting into, I do from time to time. And there are some songs that are catchy to me. There are some artists that I can appreciate their artistry. I'm a big beat person because
heavy on a beat.
Yes, I was in band, growing up in school. So like anything like musically inclined, I want to listen to it like on a beat. Like, I love the sound of like the beat in my car. Like, and it's like I won't even be listening to the words. I'm just sitting in my car going ham to the beat because like literally, like I'm literally in my car like that, like not even paying attention to what's like actually being said because I'm just that person that's like I'm not always paying attention to the words and the negativity, and like that's just what I take from it. So I don't know about y'all, but
that's me. I've always been a very big beat person. I love me some little ad lib. I call myself the ad lib queen. I love
and you are.
But yeah, that's the same for me.
It's funny how you brought up the friend group because, like, how do you think that your circle has changed over, like, let's say, past 5 years?
I noticed it's like, I'd say, like, going off to college and high school and stuff, it's just like you realize, people change. And it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's like, certain morals and principles that they had before, they don't have them no more because they got influenced by this, factor. And it's just like, okay, well, that's kind of weird, but hey, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's going through their different walks of life, and, certain things change and mold them. But I'd say it's definitely, I feel like now I'm more like aware of like who I let into my space because not everybody is like your friend. Like that's the main like lesson as a child that everybody's not your friend. Right. Oh, come on. And then they do some weird stuff and she got and it's like, okay, yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm open to making new friends, but I am also like cautious. Like, okay, like you know what I'm saying? Let's get to the nitty gritty because everybody loves to put on a persona, and then you really get to know them. It's like
heavy on that.
Okay. Yep, heavy on a persona. Yeah. For me, Last 5. Oh my goodness. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna take it kind of back to when I graduated. I had a lot of friends. I was surrounded by a lot of people, and then as I grew and our directions kind of went different, which specifying transparent moment when they were in college and I was not. And they were in college and I was working on a relationship, getting ready to be married and stuff. And so when we went our directions, like separate directions, it was no love lost. It was just like my friend group went literally down like to one person for a very long time, for a while. And then here within like the last 5 years, and with me getting back like involved in church as much as I am now, my friend group has evolved and changed to like really another set of friends. And I've always been the person where I can make a friend anywhere. Like me, I can make a friend. And as far as telling like my super personal business, nah. But I can make a friend anywhere. Like I don't meet a stranger. But I feel like my friend group has went from like just say like worldly values to changing to more of like it's a walk with God, like journey, the Christian journey, like friend groups, like what Bishop was preaching today when he said the community. My community has changed. Yes. And so that my friend group has changed a lot. But yeah.
I mean, I guess for me, like growing up, like looking at like my younger childhood, I was bullied a lot. Well, not a lot, but like, I had those run-ins, and I was always the outcaster because, obviously I like different things because, like, people felt, like I said earlier, people felt like the color of my skin didn't match how I talked or how I thought or the things that I did. But one of the things that probably, like, helped me with friend groups is, like I said earlier, I got into band and I played basketball, and it's like those are polar opposites of the spectrum. And the only moment in my life where I felt like, well, at least earlier, when I felt like I really just had like a friend group who I love, like I cried when I left them, was when we were living in Mississippi and I was in band and I was doing marching band. I was really good at it. I played the tuba and all these things, and I just had this really solid friend group in the 9th grade. And the next year, my family decided to move back here to Tennessee, to Tennessee, and I left them, and it was hard because moving here to Tennessee, it's definitely different. And I moved back and forth a lot because my family is from Mississippi and they're from Memphis, and then the only reason we ended up here in Tennessee is because this is where my mom and my dad met, and they went to school at MTSU and all the things, and it was a very humbling experience, I will say, because honestly, I don't know that I have very many friends that I've been friends with for a very long period of time. Probably like 2 years is the longest that I can remember, like, keeping a friend. And like now in my adult life, I have one friend I've been friends with since I moved back here to Tennessee. I started going to high school. But yeah, as far as like friends that I've had when I was like younger, like, how people talk about growing up with their childhood, elementary school friends, I don't have that. I never really had that. And that was something I always yearned for, honestly. I always wanted to know what it was like to be friends with somebody for that longer period of a time, and the person that I could just call, like, that already knew me, and I didn't have to explain, like, why I made this decision. I could just talk about the decision that I made. But now that I'm an adult, I feel like it helped me understand why I'm so, not open, but people don't mind coming to me and talking to me about things. And my mom has always said that, I have a spirit that people just cling to, and I never really understood what she meant by that until I got into church, and then I became a young adult leader, and something that's just what helped me realize what kind of friend I was, what kind of person I was. So yeah, circle, never really had one, but me as a person definitely changed.
Yeah. in speaking to what you say, like you always wonder basically how I felt to have like a friend that, you know, we've been friends since I was in elementary school. We've been friends since I was in middle school, whatever. I actually, I've had a friend who has been one of my closest friends since 6th grade. And, you know, we kind of went the thing is our core remained the same as far as lifestyles, we went different directions. And then I have my other best friend who is, I would consider her my best friend still, my sister, who I met my freshman year, which y'all met her, Montreya, and we've been friends for like 10 years. And so I have an insight to that, but then like, again, I feel like I'm not going to say my journey is so different from everybody, but from like as far as the friend groups that I have, my journey is so different from a lot of my friends that I have. So it's like, it's always to me like that kind of little disconnect. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, still staying true to me, but at the same time, like still being able to relate to them on certain things, because even though my age is younger, like, you know, like I said, my trajectory of my life has been a little different. Yeah. Yeah. I love my girls though.
I mean, y'all meeting y'all here at Zion has been probably like the biggest part of my adulthood, honestly. I met y'all, I moved out and got an apartment all at the same time, and it was very fun. Like, I never really had so much fun with a lot of people who thought the same way that I did and didn't mind. Like, I was just telling my mom that the other day that, like, I may not be hanging out with y'all all the time, but I know that when I get around y'all, like, y'all aren't questioning, like, if I just sit there and be quiet. Like, y'all know that's just me. Or if I'm too goofy or if I'm childish sometimes, like, I feel like y'all and the people that I've met here at Zion are okay with my personality and who I am, and that's been the biggest thing for me, because that's been something that has been a constant, I wouldn't say problem, but maybe roadblock between me and other people for so long. So if you don't have that, y'all come to the Z, because we got you.
It's a warm hug.
You go find where you belong. You're going to find somewhere where you belong if you come to the Z, for sure.
For sure. I definitely agree with that. Honestly, I just got one more question. Like, what would you do to change the current mindset of this generation, like, as a people?
Like, if I could do anything?
If you could do anything, what would you do to change the mindset of our generation currently?
I don't know. I try to figure out something to show them how real Jesus is. Yeah. Like, that's what I was trying to do. And that how, literally one of the biggest sayings that kind of like annoy me, I'm gonna say, is that whole thing of, let me get my life together before I go to church. Let me get my life together before I do this. It's like, look, nobody knows the day or time does not only stop at, revelations in the world ending. That's your own personal life. Like, that, so people wanting to wait and hold it off. And it's like, and I guess one of the things that kind of like get to me is like, you're admitting that you know he's real. You're not denying that, but you're telling him to wait. Is bananas to me. But that's one of the biggest things, is to find a way to show people how real Jesus is that how mortal we really are.
Like, I was scrolling through TikTok, and, because, like I said, a lot of people, they do, like, oh, it's up, like, I'm young and turnt right now, so, like, you know what I'm saying? But it was somebody, I was scrolling on TikTok, and he was like, you don't get clean to get in the shower. You get in the shower to get clean. So it's like, because I mean, that's how anybody feel. Like, when you do your sin, you're just like, oh my God, like, God don't do this. And I mean, that's what the devil wants you to feel. Like, girl, you so dirty. God don't want you. You know what I'm saying? That's not the case at all. Like, and it's just, a lot of people are just so deep in it. They're just like, well, I mean, I might as well keep continuing because I'm already so deep in. But it's like, you can get pulled out.
And
And
to me, the thing with that is like, he's not asking you to be perfect. He knows that you are not perfect. You are flesh.
Yeah.
You were born into sin. He knows that. He knows that. That's not news. He knows that. So it's like, trying to wait till you get all your fleshly desires out to come and really like be a Christian or really try. I'm gonna say that to really try your journey. I think that's so backwards, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help. I thought it was falling, but it's the whole. It's like you said, like you could be in the middle of the storm. He's there. He sees you regardless.
Yeah,
he sees you regardless. So you saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna do all this, and then I'm gonna come to." Like, no, he was there with you when you were doing all that.
He was there before too. And I think because a lot of people like, when I got baptized, because everybody, oh, how do you feel? How do you feel? And it's like I feel good, but it's like it's not like an automatic. Oh my God!
It's not a life
right.
And
I feel like everybody be, oh well, let me get my life right before I, get baptized. I feel like if anything, I'm not gonna lie, like after I got baptized, it was a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Like I was losing sleep, and it's just like, oh, okay, I need to talk to God, and like with temptations coming. Like that. It's not like this journey is not easy. So it's not a trend. It's not like, oh well, we can. No, like this is actually like
it's real life.
Can you really stand the rain?
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's gonna be thunderstorms. I mean, at the end of the the storm, it's gonna be a rainbow, beautiful rainbow. But like you got to get through the storm first.
You got to get through the storm.
And nobody, everybody want to be a vet, but you got to be a rookie.
Yeah. Heavy on that. That's good. That's real good. Yeah.
Oh, as soon as you get baptized, oh my gosh, I know every book of
No.
I don't.
Let me tell you something. I got baptized when I was 17. I got baptized when I was 17, and that was a conscious choice that I made to this day. I don't feel like I need to rededicate myself.
Yeah.
I don't need to do it again because I knew what I was doing then.
Yeah.
I made that choice on my own. And like you said, like it did it. It's not something that just happened like
that.
I'm holier than that. Like it was never that. And I think that people think that like you get dipped in that water, you come back and I'm new. Like you might feel new on the inside, but like they expect you to wear it on the inside, and like
because
it just ain't that.
Before, because I was raised in the church, I loved it, and then I was starting to like my extracurricular activities. Oh, we got to be in there at a certain time, so I didn't go to church. Yeah, just kind of repeated. I'm not going to church, so now I don't feel like going to church. It's like I know God is real, but I'm just okay. Like, I know God is real, God loves me, I love God, but it's just like, okay, and it's like, and it really, it does, like, break my heart that it was just like, I stepped away, and it was like, but I came back, and I feel like, I came back, and I just feel like, when you step away and then you come back, it's like you do get a whole like, oh, because I definitely used to be like, oh, you need to be perfect, and you know what I'm saying? Because that's my thing, like hypocrites are everywhere. Like, so, people are, you need to do this, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's like today's problem. Like everybody, well, the pastor, he preached about this, but he doing this on the low. And it's like,
but what are you doing?
You know what I'm saying? But what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? That's anybody though. It's like nobody, and that's like today. Nobody minds their business. Everybody focuses on, let me check your spec before you check mine.
Yeah. Especially when you start really involving yourself in ministry.
Yeah.
Where you take a leader position in ministry. They have people create these wild expectations, which I understand, like for pastors or ministry leaders, ministers or whatever. Like, yes, there is a point of like, hey, you are teaching people, like they are kind of looking at you for a part of
for an example.
For an example. So there are some things that you have to be conscious of. And so, however, we're all human.
Still have flesh.
All human. So for someone to sit there and basically judge, like people have this whole thing of judging like people in ministry, what you're supposed to be. So why are you okay? And God says we're all children of Christ, and we're all supposed to be living in the Word and preaching the Word and living by example. Why aren't you?
Yeah.
You worried about me?
Let me tell you something. Because let me tell you something. When they first put it out there that I was the young adult leader, and like me being the young adult leader of the call, and in the Bible studies, like I've had a couple of people come up to me and ask me, like, you'll be a preacher? No, that's not my calling. Just because I accepted this role that is like that people view as above all else. I'm still a normal member. I still come to church. I make my own connections. Yeah, I'm just trying to spread the gospel. The only difference is now I just have a title to it. Yeah. I just have a title to my calling. That is it. Yeah. Me being the young adult leader, from my perspective, means that I spread the gospel with all the young adults. Like he just put me at the forefront of it. Mm-hmm. Not to necessarily get in the pew and preach, but listen.
Yeah. Pastor Kelsee.
Imagine, y'all. Let's just imagine that really quick. Cause I really can't imagine myself. I'm not even gonna lie. Like people are like, well, that's just you running from it. No, that's not me running from nothing. I promise you, it's not me running from nothing. I just know my role, and like I just feel like my role for this to help this generation is just to be me. And some people think that, like, once you accept, like, a certain role in leadership, like, that changes. I feel like your first duty is to yourself. Yeah. Your first duty is to God, second duty is to yourself, and then your third duty is to everybody else. Yeah. So it's just like, I'm just me. Like, this is what God told me to do.
Like, you didn't have to put me on the pedestal. Like, I just, that's how, because that's the, everybody's, I'm going to put you on the pedestal. And then the one wrong thing I do,
right. She said that she is, and it's like
same with celebrities, like, when they get in controversy, they, you see what they did? They're human.
Yeah. You probably did that yesterday.
Right. So let's talk about that. Like, I did this today, but what did you do yesterday?
Yeah, it's so unfair.
It's like, the difference between celebrity, what they, do outside of that. But, like, they got money, more money than me.
Yeah, like, we're all people.
We're all living a human experience. Like, we're all still living a human experience.
Exactly.
Trying to figure it out.
And it's just like, because, like, I sit there and sometimes I'm like, I guess my traumas, I'm like angry. Because, sometimes some things my parents did I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Sure. The same thing I always like, you know what? They're still living their same one life.
Heavy on that.
Like,
it's their first time living
it really is.
Yeah.
Like, just because they further along, they still living their one life.
Heavy.
So it's just like, you know what? We gotta give very short grace of giving.
Right.
That I feel like that's like another thing that's wrong with like this generation. We always so quick to
no grace.
But what did God do for you?
Yeah.
They want grace, but they don't want to.
They don't want to
extend it. Yeah.
It's selfish.
You know what? And that was what I was gonna say. I honestly feel like, even including myself sometimes, as us as a generation, we can be selfish. And I think that hinders a lot for us. Like, it hinders our relationships. It hinders our ability to see things. It hinders our relationship with God. Yeah. Just because we're so worried about us.
What can we benefit from it?
Right. And what can we benefit from it? And I was talking to somebody the other day that said that to me. Like the whole reason they were having relationship problems is because they were going into every relationship thinking, what can I benefit from it? But what can somebody benefit from you? Yeah.
You might be the answer.
And that's what a real relationship, I feel like, with anybody should be, is what can they benefit from you first versus what can I get from them? Like, everybody's always trying to figure out, like, what can I get from them? Oh, if I go to this church, what am I getting from here? What are you going to do for that church? What you going to do for that friend? What you going to do for that boy? What you going to do for that girl? What you going to do?
Clock it.
Yeah. And I also feel like that's another thing that I was thinking about was, like, a lot of people feel judged, and which is another reason why I've heard some people tell me, like, they don't come to church. Like, they believe in God. And, they know who He is, and they know He's real, but they're not coming to church because little Susie over there going to tell little Johnny that Frankie doing the business, doing something that they ain't got no business, and they're more worried about little Susie and little Johnny and not worried about themselves and just getting to a place where they know that they're going to be connected with God. Like, you're connected with God at all times, but it's just different being inside church. It's different being inside an experience or a serious
immersed
service.
I was trying. I did not know where you were going.
Yeah, I'm not serious. I meant to say service, but
okay.
Anyway. Anyway, that's what I was saying. But yeah, like, I just feel like that's another big problem. Like, if I could change one thing about this generation, I would take judgment and shove it somewhere where the sun don't shine. Cause like, I'm just saying though, cause like judgment is just like, what do you gain from telling somebody else what they can and cannot do? What do you gain from telling their business? What do you gain from that?
Did it pay you?
No, it didn't.
Did that direct deposit hit? No.
Let me check my bank account. Oh,
Still broke. No, I'm playing.
Period. Still waiting on my blessing, but no.
But it's, that's what it is. Everybody just so like, girl, it's about you and God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's literally, it's about you and God.
It's not about, you getting to church is not about seeing everybody in church. It's about getting to church to see God.
And receiving the word. And what you going to do with the word.
And what are you going to do with the word? That's the most important part.
Because faith without works is dead. Because it is what? It is finished.
And that brings us to the end.
Yeah. So fun.
Yes, thank y'all for coming to chat it up with me.
Thank you for having me, girl.
Thank you for having me.
And I love y'all.
I
love y'all.
Yes.
Catch us. This is going to be something that is more normal. You're going to see me a lot. So,
Guess you got a few bars like CJ used to do.
Oh, man. Y'all want me to spit something for real?
Okay.
Yeah.
Call.
I'm sitting at the table with my girls.
Yep.
No Cain and Abel.
And we out.
And we out.
To the streets. This is the Call Initiative.